We've been bringing you the story of that classroom in the Edmonton area in St. Albert, a spoof of a sex harassment video with some extremely inappropriate content being shown to 12-year-old grade 7 students. And we showed some people in the neighborhood the video. Here's what they had to say.
Grade 7 saw this? Oh my goodness, even I'm uncomfortable watching that. I mean, that's completely inappropriate. That's nothing I would even show to my 16-year-old. Like, even the language, and oh my goodness, I don't even know. I'm glad my child didn't see that.
Sorry, you looked really tense.
Sorry, this is hilarious for an adult, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't want my 12-year-old to see that.
That's exactly how I felt when I saw it a few weeks ago. And there's not a particle of prude chromosome in me. So here's the question. How do we protect our kids from this kind of material? I mean, what makes matters worse? Premier Dalton McGuinty in Ontario is using cases of gay bullying to push an extreme sex ed curriculum in the classroom. For more on these disturbing developments, let's get joined up here with David Quist from the Institute of Marriage and Family Canada. Dave, thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure, Charles. Good to be with you.
What do you make of this video?
Well, I think like your commentators a moment ago, I was shocked when I saw it. I think that's the same tone that most parents have when they see it as well. I mean, the first clue is that I had to be proved to YouTube that I was 18 years of age even to open it, to view it. Then the language, the content, the subject matter in the way it was presented was shocking. And certainly for children of 12 and 13 years old, grade 7, it is completely inappropriate in my personal opinion.
Okay, Dave, we get a little bit of pushback from some people who say, and who knows, that the teacher may have felt this way himself, that kids hear these kinds of words all the time, and then they get on the internet, they get into sites that they shouldn't get into, they get into YouTube sites that they shouldn't get into, they learn ways of faking being 18, and so they get through all these filters. And so maybe a long time ago this would have been shocking to kids, but maybe adults today in 2011 are actually more shocked to the kids. I'm not saying I buy into that, but that's kind of the gist of what I'm hearing from those people who don't think this is a big deal. So I want to give you a chance to push on that.
Well, I think it is a big deal. I think if we just simply lay down and accept that kind of behavior, that kind of language, that kind of depiction of a serious topic, then I think that we're demeaning it and we're burying our heads in the sand. Certainly, I think as a parent, I would be shocked and appalled, and I would not just lay down and take it idly if my 12-year-old came home and said, hey, Dad, guess what we saw in classroom today? I would want to know what's going on. I would want to know the reasons why. And regardless of what any argument from the teacher or the principal may be, I would say this is completely inappropriate for my child, and I would push back very hard with the school, the teacher, and the school board if necessary as well.
Based on the research that your organization has done, what is the mid to long-term impact on, say, 12-year-olds when exposed to this? Do you know?
Well, we know some of it. We certainly know that moms and dads play a critical role in the education of their children, specifically in sex education of their children. Children still will want to go to their moms and dads for appropriate education around sexuality, and that is where the best information can come from. And as parents, we need to be comfortable and appropriately talk to our children. That's one of the big problems that I see in the sex education movement right now in our school system, is that we sort of want to, the policy is to sort of throw it all out there at the earliest age possible, and that's just simply not appropriate at all. Children of different ages will react to the language, the topic, based on their personal maturity, based on their family morals, how they've been raised and how they've been brought up. And that education is very appropriate to take place in the area of children within their mums and dads in the home, not carte blanche within the school system as has been depicted in some cases right now.
You're always getting into these disputes with activists who are extremely interested in getting to the young as soon as possible. Why do you think that is?
I think they have an agenda, and I think that may vary from person to person or group to group. I think that it's inappropriate. I think we've asked for our children in many ways to grow up too fast, pick up a clothing catalog, look at the store ads, look at the commercials on television or radio, and it's this idea that our children need to grow up as fast as they possibly can. And you know what? Many of us look back and we say, I wish I could have enjoyed my childhood just that much more. I know as a parent that we tried not to encourage our children to grow up too fast. You're 6 years old, you're 12 years old, you're 15 years old. Enjoy the time that you have right now. These are days that you'll never get back again. And for some reason, there's a part of society, whether it's within the advertising marketing world or whether it's within some of the quote-unquote entertainment world, that suddenly our 10 and 12-year-olds should be treated as adults at 21 and 25 and 30 years old. Kids are kids, and they need to be treated accordingly.
Dave, in the few seconds we have left, as you know, in Ontario, one of the reasons people say they need to push to get the agenda in as soon as possible is because of gay bullying, and opinions get cemented relatively early in life about these things, and therefore the earlier you educate kids about orientation, the more inoculated, if that's the right word, gays will be against the bullying.
I think that bullying of any sort is inappropriate. I don't think it is appropriate to identify just simply one type of bullying. I think that we need to be showing that bullying of any sort is inappropriate. But we also need to acknowledge that bullying has been around for centuries. We can look back to Cain and Abel. Perhaps that was the first form of recorded bullying that we know of in history. I don't condone that. I don't think that's appropriate and it's right. But also a lot of this education is going to be coming from the parents' end of it, and parents need to take an active role in a child's education at all ages and stages of life.
Dave Quist, thanks very much for your help.
My pleasure. Good to be with you, Charles.